This is Tracy from GiftBasketappeal, and today we're going to be making some really cool flowers. The inspiration behind this project came from JenniBellie, and she has a wonderful craft channel, lots of artsy ideas, and when I saw those flowers, I said I have to try them and share them with you. So thank you so much, JenniBellie, for the inspiration. I really appreciate you. So let's get started. Okay, so for this project, you're going to get a bunch of your decorative papers. I even used an envelope that came with a bill to make some of these flowers. You're going to get some markers, some buttons to decorate your flowers. If you want to use gems or rhinestones, that's fine. There's absolutely no rules with this, so you just make up your own rules. And I love crafting like that because everything is so unique when you do that. So I've got, let me just show you some of the things that I've been using because I've been sitting here creating flowers and I can't wait to show you what I made. I've been using some of the gel pens. I've got these metallic markers. And I think I got these from like the Dollar Tree. I've got permanent marker. I've been using some Stickles in different colors. So you can use whatever you have, and you just pull out your papers. So I was going through my scraps of papers, plus I had some papers that I normally probably wouldn't use. I thought those would be nice. And I'm going to just pick out some of these because we're going to build this flower in layers. So I thought I would do maybe some brown, and don't think about it, some pink. Let's see, another color that just doesn't match. Let's see. Maybe I'll use this one. And maybe throw some blue in there, maybe. Yeah, I think we could throw some blue in there. You see how random this is? Let's throw some blue. And what else do we have here? Look, we even have book pages, so you can even use book pages for this. So I'm just going to pull out a few of these, and I'm just going to go for it. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 layers. So I'm probably not going to use all of these. I'm going to do a 3-layer, maybe 4-layered flower. Let's see how this goes. So what you want to do is I'm going to just fold this once, and then you have the folded part at the bottom right there. And then I'm going to fold this again. Okay, and see, right, this corner is where you want to focus, right on this corner right here, because this is where I'm going to cut my flower. So this is kind of off kilter because I have a lot of random pieces. So I'm just going to focus on cutting this part right here because when I pull it apart, I want it to open up into some shape of a flower. So let me just show you again. Right here is where we're going to be focusing on. We want to make sure we don't cut through that. And so I'm going to just start right here and cut some type of flower shape. And I'm going to go back and cut again, just like that. And so wherever you started, like on this part here, I want to end up kind of in the same area when I'm finished my cutting. So this area right here and this area right here is where I started. And I want to end around the same, just so you have some kind of, so it's somewhat even. Okay, and so that's what I have right now for one of the flowers. Okay, so let me set that aside. And I'm going to make one a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit larger. Let's see. Here's another piece of paper. So I'm just picking up random pieces of paper. I don't need that part. Although I'm going to put these, of course, they're going to go in my scraps. And I'm just going to fold this again. We'll see how large or small this comes out. Okay, see, I'm focusing on this area right here. That's that folded edge. And I'm going to just maybe, let's see what kind of shape I want to get. maybe a heart shape this time. Let's see if I can do that. So you see, I'm not even using anything to trace it with. And I want to end around the same spot that I started with. And of course, it's not a perfect heart, but I started here, went around, and ended right here. Still with that folded part. Let me just cut a little bit of this off. Okay, let's see what it looks like. The surprising thing is to unfold it and see what you got. And see, look what I have there. Okay, so I've got two. Let's see what other colors we want to use. See how random this is? Let's see, I'm going to do this one. Brown paper. Actually, let me cut this in half because I could use it to make another flower. And just fold it there. I'm super surprised to see what I get out of these flowers when I'm doing this. So you can just about cut whatever shape you want. And the thing when I watched the video that JenniBellie did, I really liked the fact that she just really had some wonderful random ideas, like stuff you can do, and it's like that's all you need is that little bit of inspiration that makes you feel like, oh my goodness, I want to see what I can do with that. And so let me open this one up. And so you have different sizes, and that's what you want. You want different sizes for your flower. And so I'm just picking out random colors. If you want to match everything up, you can. I just like the fun of just not having to like match up each color and see what happens. Okay, so what about this polka dot pink? Sometimes I like things matching, and then there's other times where I'm just like, you know what, I want to just do whatever. Okay, let's see. And see, you notice I'm keeping all my scraps. I've got all my scraps right here. And you may have seen some of these in other projects that I've done. You may have seen these same papers. Okay, so let's see what happens if I just do maybe one. I don't know how this is going to come out. Two. So we can get one more in there. And three. See, but I want to make sure I end right down by the bottom there again. Let's see what this one looks like. Oh, and there it is. It's kind of nice to see how this is going to all come out. And let's see how many you want to do on that. Got one, two. Put this one on here maybe. A nice thing is you can do so many of these and then either keep them and put them together later when you need them, or you can just put them all together. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with these. Okay, so for this one, let's go ahead and add something to it. Let's see what happens if I kind of take my black permanent marker and then make a little outline on this. And you see you can get really artsy with this. And just decorate them however you want. And just adding a few decorations to this really brings out certain things about that flower. And look at that, just adding that heavy black marker makes it a little bit, just makes it a little bit more, makes it even more unique. So you can alter your scraps in all your scrapbook papers. And I've just been sitting here just having so much fun, just kind of playing around with different colors and seeing how this pattern looks. And so look at that. Okay, now I'm going to take this this Uniball signal pen, and I'm going to put like a little white dot in the middle of these circles that I did. And then look what happens. It just completely Not completely changes it, but it changes it just a little bit. Just adding that little dot inside of the black circle that I made. So none of your flowers will be exactly the same. Everything is going to just be so different. And I like the way this whole thing just kind of comes together just by doing this. Okay, and I'm going to take this one and let's see. Of course, you know I love to do my stitching. And so I think I'm going to just use this black marker again and maybe just do some stitching around the edges here. And see, I'm not matching up. There's green and white and all kinds of colors in this one, and yeah, a little bit of yellow I see in this, and blue, but I'm not matching it up. I'm just gonna do it, just going for it. And see, just adding that stitching around there, just add something to it. So I noticed that when I outline the flowers, it just brings it out more. Okay. And let's see what happens when I see if I can do this one right here too. See what happens when I do this one. I think this one needs some more dots around it. This almost looks like, it reminds me of a butterfly. Now that I'm really looking at it. But it's so nice to just randomly cut these things. And you could actually use if you have these scissors, the scallop scissors, or the pinking shears, you can use those and get a whole nother shape out of them. Okay, and how about some white here? I'm going to just take a little bit of this and just go around my circle. And I don't have to do all of them. I really like the smoothness of these, the Signo pen. It's just so smooth. And the stuff just comes out really vibrant. So you don't have to keep going over it. Some of them don't work as well, but this one is really good. Okay, and I just did a few of them. And so that's what I have so far on that one. And I don't know, for some reason I feel like it needs just a little bit of something. And you could also use your inks, your stamping inks, and kind of maybe do something on the outside, kind of shade it in a little bit. There's just so much that you can do with these. That reminds me of a butterfly. Okay, and let's see what we got here. I think this will be with the darker color. It'd be nice with just going over it with this and making a few stitches around it. Just do so much with these. Okay, and that's what we've got so far. And look at that. This looks like a butterfly too, now that I'm looking at it. So the butterfly flowers. Okay, so what you want to do is start with your larger one. And I think this one is larger than this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want this to curl up just a little bit. So I'm just taking the back of my scissors. Just be careful. You could also use the cereal boxes to do the same technique and it would be a lot sturdier. Okay. I'm just going to bend these up a little bit so that it kind of forms into a flower. Okay, and I have been using the art glitter glue, which works really good, but I could also use I could also use a glue gun. So if you want to use a hot glue gun, you can do that too. Okay, and then I have this other one. I'm going to just go ahead and hold it and just kind of pop that up a little bit there. And you know what? I want to do something else on there before my art glitter glue dries. So I'm going to make another little something. You can really get a lot of detail. Just make them real artsy and really do a lot of detail on these. And I didn't put any of the stickles on until the end. So I'll go back and put some stickles on there. Show you how I did that. Okay, so I'm just going to fold these up just a little bit and press it into the middle. And I don't want it to be lined up exact. Just kind of be like that. And press that down. Okay, and then let's see which one is the smaller one of these. I think it'll look nice like that. So look how cute that looks. Already. Could you imagine how many of these and how many different color combinations you can come up with these? Okay, let me bend these actually like this. And then when I add the sparkly stuff, you can add glitter on it. It just puts the icing on the cake. Okay. This art glitter glue dries really fast, so it's great for something like this. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut into this just a little bit more because I want it to be able to bend up more. I want to cut all the way across there. And you see how I have that? And so I'm going to place this in here. Just like that. So I want this to show. So you see why I have the larger one on the outside, and you get smaller and smaller. So you can do a bunch of these. Cut out a bunch of small ones with the smaller piece of paper that you have. Okay, let's see what I want to do with this. I'm just going to go ahead and bend this up. I don't think there's anything else for me to add to this one. And I was a little bit heavy-handed on these, and I did end up ripping some of them. And I just glued them back together and kept on going. Look how cute that is. I'm really liking this. Bend it just a little bit more. You can bend these as much as you want. Some glue in there. Then I'm going to put this one, line it up right in the middle there. And just turn it just a little bit so it's really nice and lined up. And you might hear my dog scratching his little way in the corner there. Okay, and look at that. And so that's our flower all decorated. Look how pretty that looks. Now you got to put a center in there, and if I want, I can drop a rhinestone in there, give it some sparkle. I like the way that looks. Or I have a bunch of buttons I've been decorating with, so I can do buttons in there, sequins, pearls. It's just up to you. So you make up your own rules of how you want this to come out. So I'm hoping that this gets you to thinking about how you want to do these flowers. And you can decorate your art journals, some of your containers, like if you, well, I'm getting ready to do a project on this, hint, hint, on this oatmeal box. But once it's decorated, you can put this on the oatmeal box, or you can decorate the top. Imagine having a bunch of these to decorate gifts. So you can, instead of having a bow for your gifts, do something like this, and then put a fancy ribbon around it. So there's just so much you can do, especially with the holidays coming up and Christmas and all of that stuff and fall. Just so much you could do with this. Okay, so I'm going to use my Stickles to add something to this. And so this is the silver one. And so I'm just going to put a few Stickles randomly, just add a little bit of sparkle to this. And you could do a little bit or you could do a lot. And just hold that in there like that. That makes it a little bit better. And just adding a little bit of sparkle makes such a big impact on these flowers. And no two will be alike. That's the nice thing. It's just that everything is just so unique. So you get those scraps out and make all kinds of flowers, however many you want. This is a great rainy day craft. And it's kind of addicting too, because I've been sitting here for maybe about an hour just cutting out stuff, making flowers before I even turn the camera on. So I can't wait to show you what those look like. And you want to give your Stickles a little bit of time to dry too, so look how pretty that is. And I just added a few, some sparkly stuff to it. So you can get out glitter, whatever you want to decorate with. Okay, so that's that flower. Let me show you now these other ones that I made. Move that out the way. Okay, so we got this one. Here's another one I made using white and the blue and gray. I think this would be nice on a wedding gift or something. Look how pretty that is. Let's see. You can really see that. Just trying to turn on a light and make it a little bit brighter in here so you can see it. Okay, and then it has that little bit of blue in there. And here's another one that would be perfect for a wedding. And I did get a little bit artsy in here. I used an actual, I used this silver metallic marker and went in around here on the flowers And I popped a button in there along with this one too. I put the button in there and I added some stickles, outlined it. And this right in here, I did put a ribbon underneath, a piece of ribbon that I had from like a gift tag. Just that little piece of ribbon right underneath the button, and just ran it through just to add another element to it. So, I mean, this is just so random and so much you can do with this. And then I popped a darker colored button in there. It's kind of a greenish button, and there's some green in this scrap paper, and there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. This is a piece of notebook paper with lines in it, and I just cut it out and just kind of used my permanent marker, my black permanent marker, and then just put some lines on there or some stitching, and it just made a different kind of element to it. And got some really colorful ones over here, and look at this one. Isn't that the cutest thing? And those stickles, this button actually was in this pack of Dollar Tree buttons. I got a bunch of buttons for $1. And so I saw this button with the sparkly stuff on it, and then I used some silver stickles. I traced around the flowers here, and I didn't match it up or anything. I just decided, you know what, just put them all together. Don't think about it. That's the fun thing about doing this project, is to not think about which color goes with which. As long as you have a small, medium, and large flower cutouts, just start stacking them and you're good to go. Okay, here's another one. A little bit of yellow in there. And I did put some yellow buttons in there too. But imagine this on some gifts. How pretty that would be. Rather than having a bow, you just made your own unique flower to decorate it with. And I got carried away with the stickles. And I'm going to tell you what this paper is in a moment. I can't wait to tell you what this flower right here. You're not going to believe what I used to make this. But I have another one that I need to show you. But tracing with that heavy black marker seems to do something really good for it. Bring out your flower even more. Using that heavy black marker. So I'm sure that all of you have some type of Sharpie or permanent marker in black that you can use. And then I popped another button in there. And look how pretty that is. Just working with colors that don't match. It just all works. It just pulls itself together. Yeah, I really got carried away with these. And look at this one. So pretty, different patterns. Once again, that heavy black marker. I'm really loving it, but you can use whatever you want. I popped the button in there. This one was kind of different. I just decided to cut out a different kind of shape and see what it looked like, and guess what? It worked. So you never know until you try. But who would have known? Here's a 2-layer one that I did. Look how adorable that is. That's going to look really nice on a card. Just 2 layers. And I went and traced around it. I added some glitter, some stickles on there too. Yep, I got carried away with the stickles. And I even added stickles to the button, so the button is kind of is glittery too. I don't know if you can see that. And I just rolled the paper, cut it out a little bit differently. Each time I wanted to try something new just to see what it would look like. So don't be afraid to experiment. Here's another one I did. It's a 3-layer. So you can do as many layers as you want. Once you start, and you're going to see that you're going to want to experiment with different cutouts and different shapes and just build them up. And the key is to make sure you just kind of roll the ends of these so they look flower-like. It just gives it another dimension. Yeah, I was really doing a lot this morning. This one I wasn't really sure about, and then once I popped it on another one, I was like, oh my goodness, it works. How pretty is that going to be on some type of container or even on a card? or maybe even to decorate an art journal. Yep, look how pretty that is. Yes, look at all of that. I just love the way this looks. Here's another one. I kept the same shapes, and all I did was just pile them up on each other and popped a little rhinestone in there. And I didn't put, actually this one I didn't put any glitter on there, any stickles. I think I'll just leave it just like this. Pretty. So you can be you can match up the colors or you don't have to. Look at this one. Yep, no rules. Just get your scissors and get all your papers and start cutting. Imagine all those random scraps of paper that you can turn into this. All of this. And I put some stickles on this and I went around it. I love the way the dark with the light colored stitching on it, the white stitching. I love the way that looks. So go ahead and try that. These pens, these gel pens really work well. So, and then this one, I just did some circles and filled it with some black dots on that blue. Right on the blue right here. On the blue petals there. And then I popped another small one in there, and that was it. Okay, and one of my favorite ones. How many of you get bills in these envelopes? Well, these are cut up now, but look at this. Have you ever looked at the inside of some of these envelopes with this? Right, this is the envelope to send off your bill. And guess what I did? I said, ooh, that inside reminds me of kind of reminds me of a plaid. And look what I did. Out of this, I made this. And I did put some stickles on there. Look how pretty that looks. This would be nice on a black and white gift idea. I think that would look really pretty. And I popped a button in there. But if you want to pop a pearl or some type of other gem in there, you can. But I thought it looked nice. So don't throw out those. Great way to recycle those envelopes. Don't throw them out. So I hope that you were inspired by something in this video. Because I think I'm going to be making more, I'm going to be making more flowers because this was a really fun, stress-free project. Because remember, crafting is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to enjoy the process. So I hope you were inspired by this. I'm so glad you joined me today. I want you to have a great day and share nothing but positive energy, even though I know sometimes it's hard, but you can do it. And just make something beautiful. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel before, and this is your first time visiting, please go ahead and subscribe, thumbs up this video, and leave a comment below. Let me know how you would use these flowers. And I'll see you real soon. Bye.